is real cancer in the royal family. Prince William must protect Princess Catherine from the rotten Sussexes. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you have titles. Everybody has the right to privacy when it comes to their health and many other issues too. Now, William is trying his best to protect his beautiful wife Catherine, which I can completely understand. Let's remember, it's not only her illness that Catherine has had to deal with. She was also called a racist in Scooby-Doo's stupid Endgame book, and I'm sure that was a horrible thing for her to have to deal with. The royal family has certainly had a hard time lately, so much stress and so much loss, and most of the stress is coming directly from Harry and Meghan in Montecito. Let's think about it. Ever since Megxit, the royal family has been put through the ringer. Harry and Meghan have been relentless in their attacks. I mean, it's almost a war of attrition. The ridiculous nonsense about the mysterious royal racist has been rumbling ever since that stupid Oprah interview. Even though we've never heard precisely what was said, I mean, how could we possibly judge if it really was a racist comment? Even before Megxit, though, Meghan Markle showed us that she didn't care about protocol. She didn't care about the rules. She would flout convention as often as she possibly could. And ever since Megxit, it has been a constant stream of attacks coming from Harry and Meghan. I mean, they're really trying to damage the very institution they rely on for their titles. Being subjected to sustained attacks of this type would wear anyone down. And I'm sure it contributed to King Charles's health problems now. Catherine, meanwhile, is loved by most people in the UK. No wonder she's not feeling well after all the abuse she had to put up with from Harry and Meghan. The ongoing attacks against Catherine by Harry and Meghan and their sugars, the final attack of their pet Scooby-Doo. As if Harry and Meghan had not done enough already, they had to get their cheerleader Scooby-Doo to claim that Catherine had said something racist about Archofficial before he was born. I'm sure that affected her deeply. I'm sure it affected William and the king too. They had to deal with the fallout without having a chance to really stand up for themselves. Just imagine how it has to feel to know that a family member with whom you used to enjoy such a close relationship was involved in this all-out character assassination and didn't say anything publicly to defend you. Now, Harry used to be known as a senior royal, and he used to be incredibly close to Catherine before Meghan entered the scene. It's one thing to maintain dignified silence, but it can create a lot of stress. And I suspect that sometimes it's hard for people to remember that those leaders we rely upon and admire are still human, and they do deserve to enjoy a private life. Thanks to the internet and social media, we have been living in this era of TMI, too much information. And there are some celebrities who absolutely love broadcasting every little detail of their lives. Seems to be a real problem here in the US, basically epidemic level, and especially in Hollywood. When somebody requests privacy about their health, why is it so hard to afford them the same privacy that we normal people cherish? Sometimes I think it's a good idea to imagine how we would feel under similar circumstances. According to a royal commentator, though, Prince William is doubling down on Catherine's current condition, and the strategy may not be going to plan. The last week has shown that William is more than willing to bet a lot, and is only doubling down no matter how high risk his current strategy may turn out to be. Last weekend in the UK, about an hour before William was supposed to attend his godfather King Constantine's memorial service up the road from his Windsor home Adelaide Cottage, he pulled out at the last minute. He cited a personal matter. Considering that right now Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is recuperating from abdominal surgery, people started to panic. Immediately, we started seeing all these crazy conspiracy theories all over social media. And there wasn't a lot of information given about what was happening, about what the personal matter may have been. So the internet decided to just go off the deep end. Thanks to this episode, we now know that people are a little upset about the way the Kensington Palace is handling his last-minute withdrawal, and more broadly, their ongoing promise of silence when it comes to Catherine. So it sounds like here the devil is not in the details, instead it's in the lack of the details. Some people are arguing that the palace should be a lot more transparent about Catherine's sick leave instead of refusing to be sucked into anything beyond the fact that she had something happening. She had to be in the hospital for some mysterious surgery and now she's home. And that, of course, has sparked a wider debate about how open and upfront the palace should be. Now, as future queen, does the public have license to be kept apprised about what's happening with Catherine? Or should people learn to just shut up, stop being nosy, and respect the whales' privacy? Now, throughout all this, William is not budging. He's just ignoring all the noise coming from a pretty jumpy public press and certainly social media too. Instead, he is focused on helping Catherine get well again. And his entire focus and goal should be that. It should be on protecting Catherine right now. I'm so proud of him for putting his family first. So I understand the plan is say nothing and do nothing and don't post anything about Catherine. Just let her get better. Let her enjoy her privacy. So Rhiannon Mills is a UK royal correspondent for Sky News. And she said about William's last-minute memorial cancellation, the prince's decision and the lack of explanation for it has exposed how high risk their strategy of keeping quiet is. A vacuum of information is quickly filled by rumor and speculation. In some ways, I can see that she's got a point. There is more at stake here after all than all the crazy theories about what is allegedly happening with Catherine. For starters, the Wales family, I'm afraid, are in danger of provoking the public right now. Refusing to acknowledge what's happening with the people outside the palace gates is, after all, what got the late Queen into so much trouble in the days after Diana, Princess of Wales, passed away back in 1997. Initially, Her late Majesty may have decided to stay at Balmoral to take care of her teenage grandsons. But still, when she came back to London, and she basically refused to recognize the public mood, well, that was one of the biggest miscalculations of her long reign. So if William continues to appear like he's refusing to explain himself or provide even a small detail about what that personal matter may have been, then it might be that he ends up looking like a future king who doesn't care about upsetting the people. But at the same time, the prince and princess are real human beings, and they shouldn't have to make every single detail about their lives public. So how is it possible to find a balance? Well, I don't know. I'm no expert on that. But still, the Prince and Princess of Wales have a staff of around 60 employees. These are incredibly intelligent people too, so I'm sure they can give William and Catherine some good advice about how to handle this. Meanwhile, the palace's refusal to offer even a little bit of information about Catherine is starting to look a little bit shifty, especially considering that this is in stark contrast to King Charles's on-camera appearances lately. We have seen the king smiling from the state Bentley, we have seen him talking with Prime Minister Rishi Sunak for the cameras, and we have seen him appearing in a social media video, looking so touched that so many people had gone to the trouble of sending him get well cards. Next Monday, William and Camilla are going to lead the royal family at the annual Commonwealth Day service at Westminster Abbey. Now, Charles has already recorded a video message that's going to be broadcast for the event, so he's making sure that he participates in some way. And most importantly, he's making sure that he's seen. So maybe we don't know what type of cancer the king was diagnosed with. We don't know what kind of treatment he's undergoing right now. And we have no idea how good of a job Queen Camilla is doing playing nurse. But at least Buckingham Palace is trying to look like we're in this new era of more transparency. But it looks like William and Catherine went in the opposite direction. They are staying mum. And of course the media and the public are freaking out about it. Should they be? Probably not, but they still are. So they need to be careful though, because this decision does come with the danger of potentially alienating the public. Something that is incredibly important because the institution of the monarchy, after all, continues to chug along only thanks to the continued acquiescence of British citizens. So by failing to demonstrate some, even a little bit of responsiveness to public's emotions, Team Wales are taking a real risk here. As the Telegraph royal editor Hannah Furness has written, the old palace policy of never complain, never explain is being tested to destruction. Well, okay. That said, I still have so much admiration for William. Watching him prioritizing his wife and family over the monarchy is a beautiful thing to see if you ask me. We've got more than a month to go until the first possible dates that may result in Catherine returning to frontline duties. And there could be more trials and tribulations to come. So let's get ready for the next round of conspiracy theories and also William becoming even more rigid in protecting his beloved. And you, do you agree with this view? Please tell me what you think below in the comments. Don't be afraid to click the like button because YouTube's system likes videos that have many likes. And please share this video with anybody else who would love it anytime you want. Plus, don't forget to subscribe to Kate Middleton and the Queen channel to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for watching, goodbye, and I'll be back to see you tonight. Thanks for watching!